Hi there and welcome to this week's vlog. I wonder how the weather is with you today. As I sit here recording this, I look out of my study window and I see blue skies, the sun is shining. It's relatively mild for the middle of December, and it's interesting, isn't it, that the weather is often one of our favourite topics. My wife Sue and I have in some ways very different. We sometimes discuss that question: is it better to be in a place which is too hot or in a place which is too cold? Sue would always opt for the warmer place. I would probably opt for the colder place because it seems to me that it's easier to, if you're too cold, to get warm in some way than it is if you're too hot to cool down. But anyway, we disagree about that. One of the issues, or one of the problems that I have encountered in recent years is that when the temperature drops, sometimes even in the middle of summer, when the temperature drops a bit, my fingers, I mean, they're okay at the moment, but sometimes when the temperature drops, they go all white, and the feeling in them is much less. I struggle sometimes to undo a zip or my shoelaces or whatever when my fingers get like that. It's not the rest of my body, not my toes, just my fingers. And that's really annoying. It's to do with circulation. And I think when the temperature drops, if you have this condition, the blood vessels in your fingers or wherever contract, so the blood finds it harder to get through. So what do I do when I've got white fingers? I find it annoying. If I go out, I can wear gloves. That doesn't always work. If I'm with Sue, now, as I said, we are different in many ways, and whereas my hands get very cold, hers seem to remain remarkably warm. So sometimes, if I've got a cold hand, I reach out and Sue takes my hand in hers, and the warmth of her hand warms my cold hands, and that's such a blessing. And the blood begins to flow again, and my fingers turn from white to nice pink, as they should be. And I've been reflecting on that, and one of the passages in the scriptures that comes to me is from Psalm 91. I'm reading this from the Good News version, just the first 4 verses. Whoever goes to the Lord for safety, whoever remains under the protection of the Almighty, can say to him, "You are my defender and protector. You are my God in whom I trust." He will keep you safe from all hidden dangers and from all deadly diseases. He will cover you with his wings. You will be safe in his care. His faithfulness will protect and defend you. And that image of God covering us with his wings, it kind of reminds us perhaps of a bird, a mother bird, bringing her chicks under her cover to protect them, to keep them warm and safe from the elements and from dangers. And that's a wonderful personal image of God's love for us, his protection. And I think also of the well-known story of the prodigal son, the son who leaves his family, his father, and he goes off, and over a period he squanders all the inheritance that his father had given him, and he's in a desperate situation, and he thinks to himself, I need to go back home and ask for forgiveness, and I don't expect to be brought back into the family, but perhaps I could be a servant. And as he makes his long journey home, and as he appears over the hill, his father sees him. He's been waiting for so long, and he runs and he embraces him. And there's no hint of recrimination, no hint of punishment. But the father embraces him back into the family, and indeed has a party to celebrate. My son who was lost has come home. The warmth of the father's embrace. And sometimes maybe we find ourselves in a situation and we feel out of it, left out in the cold, facing the storms of life. The truth is, if we look to God. He's oh so ready to embrace us, to pour out his love, his warmth into our cold situation. So maybe, although it's a bit of a pain having these cold fingers at times, it's a reminder of God's love for us. He never wants us to be out in the cold. He always wants to draw us in and to embrace us with his amazing love. So that's today's thought. And just to say that this will be my last vlog before the big day, before Christmas Day. So I pray that your Christmas time, whether it's going to be with family and friends or maybe even on your own, I pray that you might know the joy of the Father's embrace. Know that he loves you and he is with you and he'll never let you go. Look to him and find in him the strength, the warmth, the love and the peace, the joy that he alone can bring, the joy of Christmas. So God bless you. Thank you so much for listening today.